class, this is a short video on creating a new project in Visual Studio 2019 for our class. I've opened Visual Studio and I wanted to make a comment that if you're opening Visual Studio for the first time, you may be prompted for some default settings. In our course, we want to use the general development settings. Once you do so, you'll land on a page that looks similar to what we're looking at here. If you have created projects at a prior time, they will appear here in the list. Otherwise, let's create a new project. And from here, we want to ensure two things. One, that we're using the correct programming language, and two, that we're creating the correct project type, because in Visual Studio, you can create many different types of projects. So up at the top, make sure that your language is Visual Basic. There are various types of console apps. We are creating a console app for this class. Take care to choose console app.NET Framework instead of .NET Core at this time, and click Next. At this point, you have an opportunity to give your project a name, as well as choose the location to which this project folder and its contents will be created. You most likely would not need to edit this, but just so you know, down here at the bottom is where you can edit which version of the .NET Framework your project uses, and go ahead and click Create. Now we can see that a new project has been created. Over on the right hand side is your Solution Explorer that shows the files that are contained within this project. In the main space is your editor window. This is where you can edit module1.vb, which is already opened for us and is going to contain your code for the project. So for example, if I wanted to make a very simple program that outputs a message, "Hello World," to the user, I would click in the space between submain and end sub and add a message using console.writeline, which is Visual Basic syntax, to say "Hello World," ensuring that that message, that string literal, is enclosed in double quotes. If, for example, I would forget something, such as a parenthesis at the end, you'll notice that Visual Studio's editor gives us an error, and when we would go to try to run the project, we would also encounter an error message. So we'll go ahead and fix that. From here, you can build your project, which basically means compile and link it up to the libraries of .NET Framework by using build solution. If there were no errors in the syntax, down here at the bottom it'll say build 1 succeeded. If we want to run the project, we will go to debug and choose start without debugging. Be careful not to choose start debugging or start debugging from the menu bar here. That will open up the console window but will immediately close it afterwards. We're going to choose start without debugging. You can see our running application output the message "Hello World." All console applications end with pressing a key to continue, so that is the end of our program. We can now close that. Note that if you would make a change such as "Hello Class," we could go through the process of building our project and running it again, but do know that you can go directly to start without debugging. Visual Studio's editor knows that you've made changes, so behind the scenes the project will be rebuilt prior to running. And here we see our change, "Hello Class."